Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. This is Casey, Revelation Watchman 777. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to briefly touch on something that I haven't heard any other watchmen discuss before, and I think it's a very important topic. And so I'm going to discuss this a little bit today, and it's Revelation 12. Now, we're all familiar with the wonder in heaven that happened on September 23, 2017. But there's another part to Revelation 12 that says that the dragon, another wonder appears in heaven, a dragon that tries to devour the child before it is caught up. Now, this is really interesting to me that no one has touched on this before because it seems pretty significant. Now, I know a lot of you aren't familiar with the reasoning behind these numerical patterns that I've been finding, but I'll hit on it just a little bit. And I've on my channel, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've discovered many patterns within songs, movies, documentaries, books, significant events that have happened that link with other significant events. And the reason that these people are doing this is because God has a covenant with Satan that Satan can rule this world until Jesus comes back with his saints to rule. But when he does anything nefarious, he has to tell us about it before he does it. And a great example of that is the 9/11 towers. I told you all, I posted this, so a lot of you may not be familiar with this, but Sesame Street has magazines that they come out with every month, and they have been doing this since the 70s. During the 1970s, there was an issue of the Sesame Street magazine where they show a drawing of the Twin Towers in New York, and there's a giant cookie monster. He's taken several bites out of the building. That magazine was issued 911 days before 9/11. That's why they do this predictive programming. And Aleister Crowley, one of the biggest occultists, even came out and told us that the rules of the universe say that things have to be out in the open, because it's our way of consenting to what they're doing and giving them permission by not saying anything about it. So where I'm going with this is Revelation 12 says that the dragon will enter the scene before we are caught up. There was a movie back in the 60s called Enter the Dragon, and it starred Bruce Lee, the Kung Fu movie guy. Today is 51 years, 8 months since that movie came out. Today is 5/18, May 18th. So I think that within the next 24 to 48 hours, we're probably going to see, I don't know, terrorist events, but I'm guessing definitely earthquakes. This is part of prophecy. This is Revelation 16:19 that says that Mystery Babylon will be split and divided into 3 parts, and I believe that's talking about the New Madrid fault line that runs up around the Appalachian Mountain areas, and then the West Coast fault line, the San Andreas fault line and the Cascadia fault line. I think that's exactly what that is referring to. There's been plenty of predictive programming pointing to that. Now, I'm not going to hit you up with a bunch of numbers today, but I see plenty of numbers suggesting there could be possible earthquakes today, tomorrow, all week, basically. Now, some of you are interested in rapture dates. The date I'm looking at is May 21st to May 22nd right now, even into May 23rd, somewhere in that area. But I just want to make sure that people are aware that it's a possibility that something could happen here in America or even around the world. Now, a lot of us people here in America, and this is part of Revelation, think that nothing's going to happen here before the rapture, that's just going to happen one day and we're gone. But I say, what makes us so special here? If you look all around the world, there is stuff going around everywhere. The Middle East is at war. Ukraine and Russia are at war. Christians in Africa are being persecuted. Whole colonies of Christians are being beheaded. North Korea, you get imprisoned for life for just being a Christian. So what makes us think here in America that we are so special and nothing is going to happen before the rapture? Now, I'm not saying this to instill fear. I'm not saying this to be the guy that predicted the earthquake. That's not who I am. I think it's just my job as a watchman. Our job is not to predict the rapture. It may be part of it to give a heads up, but a watchman's duty is to look for danger and alert others. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, as Christians, we shouldn't have fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear. So what we need to be doing right now is doubling down on prayer. Ask God to protect our families, our loved ones during this next week, because if you've been paying any attention to what's going on in the Middle East or around the world, it's getting pretty close to our time to leave. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, but when the rapture does happen, I completely believe that there will be a blackout right before it. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days before, who knows. But I think they're going to do this because they don't want anyone to video record what's happening. As a matter of fact, there could be an EMP that happens before this because they want to disable electronic devices so people can't record this. Because when we leave, they're not going to want everyone to know that it was the rapture. And so they're going to say it was an alien invasion, and they're probably going to have a pretty elaborate event happening to try to convince everyone of that. So that's pretty much all I've got to add today. If you've got any additional comments, please feel free to leave them, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Maranatha.